Dialectical Journal Unit 3 by Taylor Madison. In this video, I will be covering The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Quote of interest. Well, she was less than an hour old, and Tom was God knows where. I woke up out of the ether with an utterly abandoned feeling and asked the nurse right away if it was a boy or a girl. She told me it was a girl, and so I turned my head and wept. All right, I said, I'm glad it's a girl, and I hope she'll be a fool that's the best thing a girl can be in this world, a beautiful little fool. Page 21. Daisy and Tom's baby was hardly ever mentioned throughout the entire novel. This reminded me of The Awakening because, similar to Edna, Daisy rarely takes care of her child. It is the nanny's job to raise the girl with proper manners. Daisy's comment about hoping the baby grows up to be a beautiful fool was a reflection of the times. Women were merely ornaments to their husbands. Therefore, intelligence and opinions were not valued. Quote of interest. He smiled understandingly, much more than understandingly. It was one of those rare smiles with the quality of eternal reassurance in it that you may come across 4 or 5 times in life. It faced, or seemed to face, the whole external world for an instant and then concentrated on you, with an irresistible prejudice in your favor. It understood you just so far as you wanted to be understood, believed in you as you would like to believe in yourself, and assured you that it had precisely the impression of you that at your best you hoped to convey. Page 52 through 53. I found this passage interesting because Gatsby presents an image of himself that is not entirely correct. It is simply one that he invented because he thought that Daisy would never marry the real him. The fact that Nick Carraway relates that Gatsby's smile made the people around him feel as if he knew precisely the person that they were on their best day was actually an insight into the way he wanted people to view him. Quote of interest. Has it? When he realized what I was talking about, that there were twinkle bells of sunshine in the room, he smiled like a weatherman, like an ecstatic patron of recurrent light, and repeated the news to Daisy. What do you think of that? It stopped raining. Page 94. One of the motifs of this novel is the change in weather during each scene. The weather reflects the mood that Fitzgerald was hoping to portray. This is why the scene when Daisy and Gatsby reunite is so important. When Daisy arrives, it is pouring rain because Gatsby is nervous and depressed that she is married to Tom Buchanan. After they catch up on the news of the past 5 years, they rekindle their relationship and the sun begins to shine. The truth was that J. Gatsby of West Egg, Long Island, sprang from his platonic conception of himself. He was the son of a god, a phase which, if it means anything, means just that, and he must be about his father's business, the service of a vast, vulgar, and meretricious beauty. So he invented just the sort of J. Gatsby that a 17-year-old boy would be likely to invent, and to this conception he was faithful till the end. Page 104. This section of reading reveals that Gatsby has recreated himself in his own mind. Since the age of 17, he has been J. Gatsby instead of his birth name of James Gatz. He dedicated his entire existence to becoming rich because that was what Daisy was attracted to. He figured that if he was rich enough, Daisy would leave Tom for him. He never let the people in his new life know his true past. He remained a mystery. I wanted to get somebody for him. I wanted to go into the room where he lay and assure him, I'll get somebody for you, Gatsby. Don't worry, just trust me and I'll get somebody for you. Page 172. I found it strange that Gatsby's body was not taken to the morgue. Instead, it was left in his house and people were free to view it at any time. Also, when his father arrived for the funeral, he was more intrigued by his son's house than by the sadness of his death. No parent wants to see their child die before they do, yet his father seemed detached. This may have been because he was unaware of Gatsby's new identity. To him, he was still Jimmy.